Deadpool Funko Pop. I have my Deadpool bracelet and my chain. My sister gave me this, so I cherish it. But we are back for another episode of Many Money. In case you're not hip to the fact that Many Money is an opportunity for me to talk to my family and friends. There's a fun on what's been going on, moments of epiphany, things I learned, things I want to talk about, right? I have a list of things that I talk about in these videos, which you usually posted on my Instagram. My Instagram is listed right here. Follow me on Instagram to get those topics. I post every Friday what I'm going to talk about, right? My Instagram is also my handle for my TikTok, and I post reels about the videos that I do put out. And of course, Monday is Mandy Mondays. But without further ado, let's rub it like a give it good luck. Let's get right into the list. The first thing I want to talk about is hoarders of people. What does that even mean? Hoarders of people. So we know hoarders in the traditional sense is people that like to collect different items and things of the sort, which isn't inherently wrong, but it's like when it prohibits your ability to actually live and function within your own home, within the space of your living quarters, then it becomes an issue, right? There's a show on TLC that actually goes by the name Hoarders, and it shows these people that hoard items and things that don't really serve any function just because they don't want to let it go, but also it may have an emotional attachment to it. Whether it belongs to a lost relative, right? Or they did this habit out of a sense of consistency, or they just want something to be like, oh, like I finally get on my own. I want to do things the way I want to, and I don't want to throw anything away, right? But for whatever reason, it prevents them from having relationships with their family and friends sometimes. Sometimes they can't even use the bathroom or cook. And then you do a little leaven and leave it a whole lump, and they're not able to do other things, right? So like if I can't access my bedroom, I'm not gonna sleep in my bed. If I can't access the bathroom, I'm not gonna use the bathroom. I do other things, and because I'm hoarding, and it prevents a lot. It prevents me from doing other things within the house, but it also prevents some of those relationships. So why am I bringing this example of hoarders? What does it mean when I say hoarders of people? Let me rub the Deadpool. Hoarders of people, or rather this concept I want to talk about, which I just had this moment of epiphany. I'm like, people hoard items, but you can also hoard people. It means you keep people around that serve no function at all. They don't affirm you, they don't respect you, they don't love you, they don't do anything to contribute to yourself. Not that every relationship is a give and take analysis, but you do have to realize to a certain degree is like, hey, if I'm doing all this stuff for a person, giving them all this energy, I'm giving them all this time, why I'm not getting anything in return? It doesn't hurt to be affirmed. When I talk about affirmed, I mean like being complimented, being seen for who you are, the things that you have done, you know? I know just being a human being, or just like me in my role as a black male, is very thankless job, right? No one really gives you those compliments, but every time I do get a compliment or I do get a praise or affirmation, I hold the fuck on to it, right? But with people that like to hoard people, they keep people around that don't give any of that, right? And I know that we love and we care about individuals, but we gotta stop hoarding people, because when you hoard people and you keep people around that aren't positive, that aren't contributing to your success, that aren't doing anything at all as in the realms of positivity or giving good vibes, it takes away from the time that you can be spending with the people that really care about you, the people that want to see you grow and to succeed, right? Because there's so much shit in the way, right? Just like an example where I gave earlier, where a person couldn't be able to use their stove, or they couldn't use the bathroom because there's too much clutter and shit in the way. That's the way hoarding people works, or the functions, because you have all these people just taking up space and time that you can actually be dedicating towards someone that's meaningful, right? And I tell you this because I had to apply it in my life. I applied it at a time and period, but it's an ongoing thing of like, I have to really realize like, who am I investing time in, right? And who's just taking up space, and who do I really need to reallocate that time, because time is limited. I only have so many marbles, right? I only have 5 fingers, right? And if I put 2 of them down, only have 3 left, right? And I can only function with those 3. So let me free up my hand, let me free up those fingers, so I'll be able to dedicate the time and energy to the people that care about me, the people that's going to reciprocate my energy. So stop hoarding people. Second order of business is the need to be right. I fucking hate this, bro. You ever talk with somebody and they just have to be right? They got to get the last word or whatnot. And I'm just tired of it, you know, especially like when the individuals can be condescending, right? I get like some people can be humorous and whatnot, but like I really don't care anymore. I really don't care about a person's need to be right. You end up arguing with yourself to that degree. And I think it's important to be able to recognize this behavior, because like if you feel like someone's being condescending, that's not something they're being condescending. I think we should be able to like get in touch with our like how we feel and not suppress it. And especially when a person is being very rude to you. I don't know why it's such commonplace where people can be rude, say disrespectful things to us, and then we just start to be taken on the chin, right? I know in certain pastors, they'd be like, oh, you know, if they go low, we go high. Fuck that. I don't think there's something inherently wrong. Maybe I'm talking from a point of privilege, but we can match energy. We can match energy. I'm not saying that you have to go above and beyond, but respectfully, when someone's need to be right involves being rude and being very distasteful, I do advocate for you taking that for yourself, because you have to remember, hey, person is initially being distasteful. So if I give a rebuttal, it's not like I'm on fuck shit. No, they were on that to begin with, right? So don't beat yourself up about it. And that's what I mean by essentially the need to be right. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, please comment down below and I'll give a more thorough response. 3, update on the Spanish content. So I told my Spanish teacher that I wanted to produce more content in Spanish. So I think she understood me but didn't really understand me. So she's gonna be gone for a week, and she told me that she wanted me to do a couple of videos in Spanish about the conversation that we had in Spanish class, such as like introductions, things that I like and don't like, and then also what I like in a partner, right? So I have no choice but to record those videos, because I hate disappointing that lady, right? It's weird because like Spanish is something that I do on my own. No one's forcing me to do it. It's not a curriculum and stuff like that. I generally want to take Spanish classes and I want to be good at it. But I also like that with the Spanish lessons to give a sense of accountability. And with that sense of accountability, I hate disappointing her, right? So I'm going to do those videos for Spanish. I'm not even sure if I'm going to upload it, but something that I do have in the back burner is making cooking videos. And I did a couple TikToks here and there. I did 2 cooking TikToks, but I want to be able to do a video that's cooking, but I'm talking in Spanish, describing what essentially that I'm doing. It has Spanish captions, but also me vocally giving a voiceover, right? I don't necessarily know how to give a voiceover right now, but I'll keep you guys updated on it. Hopefully sometime September, I get those videos out. Now, 4th order of business, and the final thing I have is let's make a movie. I am a big horror fan. Like if you look around my house, you're not privy to that, right? But I have a lot of different items that just complement the horror aesthetic. Like I have this, for instance. And I also have this Batman cowl, right? So I like goth, horror, aesthetic, different things, right? And I wanted to be able to channel that in some way, right? I do a little bit with my aesthetic. I do a little bit with the way that I decorate my apartment, but I wanted to do like the ultimate peace offering, right? I want to make a short film. I have no inkling, I have an inclination to make a film, but I don't know anything about filmmaking, right? I don't know anything about script writing. All I know is that I have a passion and that It's just something that I want to do. Of course, it doesn't have to be for profit. I'm not even going to do a fucking Kickstarter. But I am dedicated to learning what I can do and then what's within my control, and definitely makes worth the effort. But I think it starts here by putting it out there and after. And I hope that whoever sees this as an audience member, whether now, in the future, or whatever, can hold me accountable to be like, hey, you said you were gonna make this film. How is it going? What's the progress on it, right? But the first order of business is to make the music, right? Because especially when you think about the Halloween film of 1979, I think it's 1979. If it's not 1979, I apologize. The original Halloween film with John Carpenter, and he says like, when they initially shot the film, there was no music, and like people was like, oh, it's not very scary. But when the score was added, it added a different layer to the film. And I'm trying to find out what my score would be, the music, and I'm doing a little bit backwards because I'm doing the music for this anticipated short film, this anticipated horror film, and then I worry about script writing and everything. Now, where is this music coming from? I'm focusing on utilizing classical music. Classical music is public domain, but what does that really mean? When music is public domain, that means like, yeah, you have like literal music sheets and stuff like that, and you're able to utilize it and record it, and then that's essentially fair use. But if I take, like an example, Requiem by Mozart, right? If somebody plays Requiem by Mozart and take a recording of it, it's fair use, but then they have that essential recording. So if I use their recording of them playing it, then that's copyright infringement, right? But if I essentially play Mozart Requiem myself and I record it, voila, I have something I can utilize in my film, right? I'm not sure if that's for Mozart for sure, so don't quote me on it, but it is true for Beethoven. And I'm looking at his works and I'm noticing some songs and I'm learning them on guitar. So as I learn these songs on guitar, I want to eventually be able to record them and then have that be the score for this short film that I'm making, right? I hope to give monthly updates, and then when I start filming, we'll start doing bi-weekly and weekly, right? So there's just some things in the pipeline. I mean, also in the background, I have doing school and work and all those other things, but I just want to give you guys a little just update on the Spanish, and also me going into the short film, doing the horror thing. Yeah, this is very exciting, very exciting. But without further ado, that is essentially my Mania Monday. You guys take care of yourself, right? Comment, like, and subscribe.